Hello, world. It is Wednesday, April 29th. It's kind of an overcast day in Defiance. Relatively warm and got a chance to go out running. I did my first speed work of the year. Ran over to Defiance College track and did some laps there. It's supposed to be raining later today, but April showers bring May flowers. Not sure we need much more rain, but that's okay. Today's daily devotional is entitled, Be Careful What You Ask For, and it's written by Tony Robinson. And Tony writes his devotional based upon the book of Numbers, chapter 11, verses 18 through 20, the New Revised Standard Version. Therefore the Lord will give you meat. You shall eat not 1 day only, or 2 days, or 5 days, or 10 days, or 20 days, but for a whole month, until it comes out of your nostrils and becomes loathsome to you. And Tony writes, as Grandma used to say, be careful what you pray for. In the wilderness, the people, weary of manna from heaven, demand meat. God, who is sick of all the whining, gets a little testy. You want meat? Okay, you'll have it. You'll have it until it's coming out of your nostrils. So now we have this practice of social distancing. Keep your distance. I get it. Here in Seattle, it is working. But it seems to me that we've been doing a whole lot of social distancing as Americans for quite some time now, if of a slightly different form. Polarization, breaking into camps and tribes, projecting all our stuff onto those terrible others. If only we could get rid of those other people, we'd be fine. Leaders sowing division and discord, pitting people against each other to hold on to power. Could it be that God is giving us what we asked for in spades? And could it also be that amid this crisis, God is saying, wake up, stop demonizing and dividing and ruling by setting people against each other? That way lies disaster. The only way forward, the only way out, is by coming together, even as we keep our literal distance, and rediscovering your common humanity. I know no nation or race, no gender or class. We're in this together. And Tony's prayer. Help us to find one another, to cherish one another, to come together in our nation and throughout the world now. Amen. Well, be careful what you ask for. It's so true. I've heard that saying as well. And I think Tony's got a point here that we have been really social distancing from each other and finding ways to distance ourselves from one another. And maybe it's not so much us making that conscious decision, but the people who are in power goading us into doing that. And the only way to end it is for us to not fall into that camp. I know I look at Facebook posts every day, and my ire gets raised up oftentimes, and I want to jump in and say something. And then I take a deep breath, and I stop, and I don't. And I think, the best thing we can do is to demonstrate the kind of love that God gives us. It's not about polarization. It's about caring for one another and living in that way. As much as some of the things really bother me, I need to take a break and to stop and just live out the example of how I think we ought to be living, rather than pointing out all the things that I think other people are doing wrong. Can you imagine if we all took the time to just stop and breathe and look at what we can do positively in the world to live the life that God calls us to? Hope you have a good day. Talk to you soon.